Alright guys, now in this video we are going to see about the file transfers. So first, if you got the shell from the victim machine, so there will be some situations where you need to transfer the files from your Kali Linux machine to the victim machine. Suppose like linpage script or any other enumeration script which gives you some privilege escalation or some other advantage. So to transfer that file to the victim machine, you need to set up some servers in the Kali Linux machine so that you can access the files with those clients in the victim machine. So first what we're going to do is we are going to install this VSFTPD server. So type in sudo apt install VSFTPD. So this is FTP server software. It is already installed in the Kali Linux, and I have run this previously before recording of this video, and it has updated to the newer version. So one setting you need to change for this VSFTPD is you need to go to sudo nano, you need to go to hc and vsftpd.configuration. So in this configuration file you need to set this anonymous enable to yes. By default it will be in the no, you need to set it to yes, so it will access the anonymous FTP, so that on the client, on the victim's terminal, you will just simply download without any authentication. So that's what this setting is for. You put it as yes, by default it's no. So we need to start this VSFTPD server. So need to say sudo service VSFTPD and start and hit enter. Okay, now my VSFTPD has been started. I will say this is my victim's terminal. Let's assume that, and I can say FTP IP address of this machine. So you can see connected to IP address. I say Kali. So it's asking for the password. So it's not a problem because we know the password of this Kali Linux machine. Maybe I should stop this and restart this. Okay, it's not a problem because we know the password of our Kali Linux machine, right? Even though if password is enabled, like user need to enter the password, we know that our own Kali Linux machine's IP address. So now you can say get, you can reach these files using this tab, and you can see all the files here. You can see r.txt and etc. And what you can do is you need to say get r.txt, for example. So it's using default binary mode, and binary mode is useful for transferring the binary data like executables, ELF files, etc. So that's one of the useful for the binary mode. So you can get using this get command. So let me close this one. So we have set up this FTP server and we have accessed it using this FTP client. So that is one way. Another method is using the Python 2. So there is a Python 2 and Python 3. There are two versions. You can start a simple HTTP server on this directory which you are running the command. So let me move into desktop, and if I say I am in the desktop, I have these files. So if I want to start the HTTP server on this folder, I need to say python 2 -m, load the module, and the module name is simple HTTP server. I need to specify the port number. Let's say 1234. So as you can see, serving the HTTP on the port or the R interfaces and the port 1234. Now what I can do is I can go and say wget that IP address and the colon port number. I need to specify the slash, and then I need to specify the file name I want to download to this machine. So I can simply say big.txt and the file will be downloaded. So as you can see, the big.txt has been saved. If I show you ls -ltr, you can see, okay, big.txt has been saved in the home folder. In previously it has been in the desktop folder. So this is the Python 2 HTTP server. So if the machine does not have Python 2, or it is having the Python 3, and you need to say Python 3 -m http.server. Now it's similar to the previous method. It's same serving the folder on this port number 1234. So the difference is we are using Python 2 and 3. In some cases the victim's machine may have Python 2 but not Python 3. So in that cases you can run the Python 2, and if there are both, there is no problem for that. So that is one way, and another way is netcat. We have already seen using the file transfer using the netcat. I will just show you once more. Netcat, and we are going to reason on say 1 2 3 4 and take the input of the file name we want to send. Let's say hash.txt, and now I am in the home folder, and now say netcat -nv, which is my own local IP address, and then I am going connecting to 1 2 3 4, and I am going to save it as hash1.txt. So now if I can press the Control C. So if I say ls -ltr, I will get this hash1.txt. So this is a simple way for the netcat, and we have covered this FTP server, Python server, and netcat. And one more thing is, if you have a SSH access to that victim machine, we can use SCP, let's say hash.txt, and then you need to enter the username of the SSH session you have the access to. If you know the username and the password of the victim machine, let's say username is admin, and you need to specify @ the IP address of the victim machine, and then colon, you need to send it to the destination folder. So this SCP stands for secure copy, and we are copying from hash.txt, which is our own Linux machine, to this admin @ that victim machine, and then the destination folder. So then it will ask for the password, and if you have this SSH login credentials, you can successfully transfer the files. So these all comes under post exploitation after you get the basic shell from the user. So these are the some common file transfer techniques, and if there are more techniques, we will cover in that video at the right time and the right situation. So that's all for this video, the basic methods for the file transfer.